So before I spend time on putting this 2x8 here and then figuring out the angle for this and monkeying around with that, I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and liquid nail my construction adhesive on all the different gaps where I think. I'm even going to put it even where I've got the screws. I'm even going to do it there. Why? Because I can. Because I'm here and I'm going to just do it and be done with it. Okay? That way it'll be drying, and more than likely I'll have to put a second coat on. And see, from here that way, I could have done that before I did this, but I could reach up there from the back side, and I'm not really too concerned about it squeaking from this point on, but I'll reach up in there and do the best I can and get all that taken care of. Hey, we might as well finish the job properly, right? Okay, I've really done a number on caulking all of this. Look at that. That's liquid nails. That's going to bond this wood to that wood. Keep it from squeaking, keeping these stair treads and the risers from moving around, from squeaking at all for the next 15-20 years probably. This stairway is going to be so nicely fit together and tight, because as you remember, this whole thing here, this was awful, wasn't it? I sprayed this with bleach, got all this stuff off there. Before that I used my wire brushes, got all the stuff off, and my putty knives and scraped it, swept that down, wiped it down. Then I put bleach on there, sprayed that on there. It looked really good after that. And I put 2 coats of this primer that kills any sort of mold that's left. I put 2 coats of that on there, on all of the stuff that was existing. So all the white that was existing, I went ahead and did. I don't have to, all this new stuff, I don't have to paint all this stuff. This is underneath the deck. Do I really have to do that? I mean, I guess I could talk to Mommy and ask her if she wants me to do that. And because I've done all the other stuff, and because this is underneath, it's kind of sealed, I might want to do it, and that would just protect this in case any moisture gets underneath here and wreaks havoc to my scenario here. Once I get this whole thing done, I'm going to unscrew this so that I have access under here. That's going to give this a little bit more air to breathe and so forth. So I'll talk to her and ask her if she wants me to do that. I mean, I could paint all of this stuff white, and then I would do 2 coats. And I've got to get another gallon of that stuff anyways, because I'm going to end up having to do the top of the stairs. I'll probably put 2 coats after I scrape everything and caulk it and all that kind of stuff on the top, you know, as I go down. So I'll probably need another gallon of that stuff anyways. Alright, I think I just talked myself into a little bit more work down here, but I shouldn't really have to do it, and I could check it later. You know, a year from now I could crawl down underneath here, and I don't anticipate it having any problems. I mean, everything inside of here, if you saw that before, there's no paint or anything. There's none of that under here. Nobody does that. It's just I did all of this because there was mold and fungus on here to begin with. I feel very confident I got it all taken care of, okay, and eradicated. So am I going to paint this? Might have just talked myself out of it. Yeah, I think I just talked myself out of it, because I've got to build this whole floor too. So if I painted that, would that mean I'd have to paint everything else? I mean, I could, but you know, that's all up underneath, all the joists coming across here. There's really no need to do any of that stuff because we're down underneath here. Okay, See how that 2x6 is going to be? Like that. And that's going to hold some of the weight there, and it's going to transfer it down there. And this is just a scrap piece. It's not in there all the way. It was just a piece I had, and I kind of held it up there at about the angle that I wanted. And I wanted the bottom of this to kind of coincide with the tip of that, and then I'll cut a flat bit on it. And Douglas fir, you're not supposed to take Douglas fir and set it directly on concrete. You're just not supposed to do that. So what I'll end up doing is I'll probably take a block of redwood, and I've got a few. See, here's some redwood right here. And then here's another piece that I took out. And I can cut a nice little piece off of that, and I can just use that as a resting spot on here. I'll cut it, you know, maybe 8 inches long or something, and however wide this is, 2 inches, 2.5 inches wide, put it in there, and I might put liquid nails on it, construction adhesive, and put it down there, and then this will just rest on top of it. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm gonna try to find the angles with this, and see, I can just take this board here, and I can measure my tape measure all the way from the point way up there to where it hits. And I figured, I ran my tape measure up, and I got a pencil mark there, and it's about 1 inch shy of this. So I've got to measure from the bottom up and 1 inch over, you know, 1 inch over, and to get this angle. And I can do that by just measuring. And then I can do the same thing here as I continue it over to there. I can get it, and then I can get this point down to there, and then I can measure from here to the inside corner and transfer marks, and then I'll get it close enough. Then I can put it up here. I can look at it. I can then shave it just slightly, whatever I need to do. And then once I get it exactly how I want it, it's not going to set down all the way. I'll just have to tack it. I'll have to tack it back up. And then however it is, then I'll put this down at the bottom and hold it. If it's like that, then I'll mark it. You know, if it's there, if it's there, if it's up like that, however it is, I'll then be able to mark it, make one last cut, and then the little piece of redwood would be in here, and I'm gonna rip it lengthwise so it doesn't want to just crack off. I'm not gonna just take a 2x6 bit and shave it off. I'm gonna cut it 8 inches long or whatever, and then rip it down so it's a nice long piece that's not gonna split. And then I can set it in there. This is going to rest down on top of it. And I don't even have to nail it to the bottom. I can just put a little clip on there so that the weight is setting on top of here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some screws in it to attach it to the OSB plywood. And then there's a 2x6 behind there. Do you remember? There's a flat 2x6. Remember, from this edge over, there's a flat 2x6. So then I'll be able to put at least 4 screws in there, and then as it comes up, I'll be able to get some screws in here. And I don't know, at that point I can also come out here and put some screws in there. I can put some liquid nail up in there too before I attach that one, and that will be all nice and solid. I won't even have to attach that to my stringer, so to speak, because my 2x8 here is attached to the stringer already, and I've got everything attached. So this will all bond together. So does this really have to be cut? It doesn't have to be cut exactly perfect up there either, okay? But I want to get it up far enough so I can get enough meat on, able to put, you know, maybe 3 screws in it or something. And I would like to get it tight, but if I don't get it exactly 100% tight, I guess that'll be okay. But the tighter I get this, probably the better, you know. So I'm gonna do the best I can measuring this, and I may have to take a couple cuts at it, but I'll get it and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Here's one other thing I could do, but I've decided not to do it. Well, on the 2 new stairs, of course, I ended up putting something underneath the end of the 4x12. I've got that there, and then this one goes up underneath there, and the 2x6 inside this column is nailed into there. So this board, I almost could have left it out, but I wanted to put it so that I could bond the OSB plywood to the 2x6 on there. And see, on all the other stairs, they don't have anything under the back end of the 4x12, do they? See, each one, there's nothing, like right there, kind of like how I put mine. And I was thinking, well, maybe I could put some. I have to put a 2x4 little block here and down at the bottom, and then push it up there and put a clip on it like this, there, and down at the bottom or something, and do each stair. That's only if you think your stair stringer is weak. Well, mine's not weak anymore, is it? And this is nice and solid from this point on down. And because I've installed this additional 2x6 all the way down there and really got it screwed in good there, and this is coming up to here, this is holding that, you know, it's not, I feel really confident that my 4x12s are being held at this point, and that this is not going to sag. This area right here is not going to sag and let this come down. If you were concerned about that, and if you can get inside this wall, and if they built the stair treads all the way to go into the wall, you could put a 2x6 underneath there, kind of like how I did. Okay? But I've looked at it, I've decided against it for my particular project, but just wanted to point that out for you. And here's another thing to do periodically, because I'm going to be working up there. I've got these different blocks for the angles that I cut, and periodically you want to pick up these blocks, stuff that you know you're not going to use, or if you got big blocks you can stack them off to the side. The last thing you want to do is to be walking around looking up and twisting your ankle, or worse, with some of these blocks that are in your way. Okay? Be safe rather than sorry. Remember these 2x6s, top pieces that I put in? I had to rip the edge of them off. Here's my little scraps, but these could be nice shims for something. You don't want to just break these up just yet. I'm going to save those for right now, and when I get done with this whole project, I'll pick and choose some strategic pieces that I think I might be able to use later, especially if I have a place to store the stuff, and I do. And you know, all this old stuff, obviously I'm going to throw that away, chop it all up, fit it in the garbage can, just like I did before. But any other little things, you can be a pack rat to a certain extent if you've got a place out of the way where nobody's going to see it and only you know where it is. So think about that before you throw stuff away.